All right, fight fans, today I'm bringing you my top 15 fighters of all time. Now, before I do anything, I want to start off by saying that this list will change, okay? List will change, and the only reason I'm telling you that is because I'm going to be doing 2 uploads per year on this topic. One at the start of the year, another one at the end of the year, and it might change, okay? It might change, so calm down. I might, like rewatch some of the old head fights and be like, this wasn't, and that it's just a lot of stuff into it because it takes time, okay? It takes real life times to watch all these fights and reevaluate and how much weight it holds. So it takes time. And I'm just telling you just in case it changes so you don't roast me in the comment section. Now, moving on with our first fighter, Israel Adesanya. Look, the man has 6 title defenses. He beat Robert Whittaker twice. Even though one was controversial, he still beat him, okay? At the end of the day, in a few years, nobody will remember that shit, okay? There's not going to be people coming back and watching all these fights like I'm doing right now, like a real man, okay? Okay, not like a real man, but you know what I mean? Like a real watcher, or not a casual. Why did I have to think about that? But look, it was a close one, but he still beat him. Okay, at the end of the day, the judges is what have the last say. He beat Robert Whittaker twice, Costa, which was a great performance, Marvin Vettori, Cannonier, Alex Pereira, and Joel Romero. He has lost to Jan Blachowicz when he tried to move up. He got TKO'd, obviously, by Alex Pereira, lost to Sean Strickland, very shockingly. I did not expect that loss. And he got defeated very, very, very recently by KO to Nasruddin Imavov. A lot of people did say that it was a early stoppage, but Ilia Topuria actually met up with the ref. He's a very famous ref. I forgot his name. I always forget his name, but he was the same ref as the fight in Alex Pereira, and he met up with him in New York recently and said that the first stoppage that he did against Alex Pereira was bad, but the second was he wasn't there. It was just reaction time, so he doesn't think it was a bad stoppage against the fight against Imavov. So we can lay that to rest. But yeah, number 15, he has one of the longest UFC. It says featherweight. I did a mistake there, but I'm not gonna change it because the people that are watching my videos are not casuals. Obviously, he's not a freaking featherweight. I did a mistake there, but you know what? I'm pretty sure he doesn't have the longest middleweight champion thing, so it doesn't even matter. I did a mistake there, but I'm not gonna change it. Okay, let's move on. Number 14, old man Stipe, part-time firefighter Stipe. He has 3 title defenses in the heavyweight division. He has wins over Junior Dos Santos, Daniel Cormier, Overeem, Ngannou, Fabricio Verdum. He has lost to Junior Dos Santos. He got KO'd by Daniel Cormier. He got KO'd not back to back, but he got KO'd against Francis Ngannou, and he got defeated by Jon Jones in UFC 309 in 2024, which was a fight that literally nobody in the whole wide world, I don't care how much the gate was, I don't care how much it earned, but nobody that was a UFC fan wanted this fight. Everyone wanted Jon Jones to fight Tom Aspinall. Nobody in the entire world, bro, wanted this freaking fight. They sold this fight like Stipe was still elite. It was just sad to see that fight. That man was moving like, was he even moving? Let's be real. Was he even moving? But look, he's still regarded as one of the greatest, if not the greatest. Okay, he is regarded as the greatest UFC heavyweight champion and holds the record for the most successful heavyweight title defenses, which that might be a big thing to accomplish, right? Like, you're regarded as one of the greatest heavyweights, the greatest heavyweight of all time. But the problem with that is these heavyweights, man, like, they're not all that great. It's basically like the flyweight division, right? There is skill, but the skill is not that high, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, that's why Demetrius Johnson has a lot of defenses, but the difference between the flyweight and heavyweight division is the flyweight division has at least more skill than the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division is just a bunch of blobs. Okay, okay. Watch the Gaziev become the GOAT by the end of his career at this point. Look, I hope Tom Aspinall surpasses Stipe Miocic. I feel like that would be a good thing for the heavyweight division. Okay, I don't want Stipe Miocic as the greatest of all time. I don't dislike Stipe Miocic, but I feel like Tom Aspinall has a chance to become the GOAT of the heavyweight division by the time he's done. Moving on to number 13. Number 13, Jose King Aldo. Jose King Aldo. The man has 7 title defenses, notable wins. You Are a Favorite, Chad Mendes, and Chan Zung Jung. I hope I pronounced that correctly. He lost very, very quickly against Conor McGregor, defeated by Max Holloway. He lost again to Holloway and defeated by Alexander Volkanovski via unanimous decision. Look, the problem with Jose Aldo is that he didn't lose when he was old, okay? He's like in a similar situation with Izzy that people think Izzy's washed, and he's not washed, okay? If we're being completely honest, okay, no bias involved, Jose Aldo lost when he was not washed, but he was slightly outside of his prime, okay? And that's the problem about Jose Aldo. He lost when he was outside of his prime. He didn't lose when he was washed, and that's the problem, okay? These people are still, some people that are on this list won, even though they were washed. Or not washed, but they were outside of their prime. And that's the difference between, you know, Jose Aldo and someone in the top 10 and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So, he was not watched when he started losing. I mean, he wasn't watched when he started losing, even though a lot of people say he was. And people say that he was freaking peaked when, not peaked, but he was in his prime when he was in his 20s, when it's not completely true, okay? The only reason people say this is because he started losing in his 30s, but that's just the new generation coming in and beating him, okay? Just, you can't cope that hard, okay? Let's move on to number 12. And, oh man, this is just a sad one right here, bro, because, you know, 10 title defenses, notable wins, Rich Franklin, Andy Henderson, Sonnen, Belfort, Griffin, Derek Branson. Also, keep in mind that I'm obviously not going to, if I forget some names in the notable wins, don't worry about it. It doesn't really matter that much. If I don't remember the name, it's because it wasn't really that important, or I just totally forgot, because I was planning on doing a top 20, but I just decided to do a top 15 because I thought I was gonna yap too long. But anyways, he lost to Chris Weidman in 2013, and that's why he became literally washed after that loss. Like, I know this is like not fair for fighters in this list. Okay, this might not be fair, but after that loss, you literally have to stop counting the losses, because this man was completely washed. Like, I swear to God, Dana had him like he had something on Anderson Silva. They didn't want to let him go. It was kind of sad, but he got defeated again by Weidman. He broke his leg, which was kind of disgusting. Don't look it up you should know this if you're watching a GOAT list. But if you're like, also, if you're new here, right? Because I understand if you're new here, people still look up GOATs list even though they don't watch the sport. I suggest you not to go and look at that injury. That is disgusting. I know you guys are going to look it up anyways. Let's move on. Michael Bisping, and he has the longest reigning UFC middleweight champion. He hold the belt for 2,457 days, okay? And the reason he's not in the top 10, I mean, if I'm being completely honest, his wins are not that good, okay? His wins are not... This man started fighting in the UFC when there was literal part-timers. There were literal part-timers. People were... An MMA fighter today, in the morning and the afternoon, they were working like as a plumber. That's not even a joke. I promise you. His wins are not that valuable, okay? Moving on to Demetrius Johnson. This is the same case. as as what the hell am I saying? This is the same case as Anderson Silva. He has 11 title defenses. His notable wins are John Dodson, Joseph Benavidez, Henry Cejudo, and Kyoji Gucci. Gucci, holy shit, what did I laugh at his name? But yeah, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. He lost to Dominic Cruz, and he got defeated via split decision to Henry Cejudo. He holds the record for the most consecutive UFC title defenses, and widely regarded as one of the greatest pound for pound fighters in MMA history. Look, there's a reason why Dana White hates his division. Okay, that's what he hated. Demetrius Johnson. He hated that the flyweight division. If I'm being completely honest, why do you think Pantoja doesn't get the respect he deserves? And just for a reason, bro. That division is fun to watch, but it's just it sucks, bro. It literally sucks, bro. That division has been recycling, fighting the same people for ages. It's so boring, and I completely understand why it doesn't sell like the others. Okay, the name value doesn't really. Why do you think Pantoja has defended his title a bunch of times in that division, and he's not considered the pound for pound best fighter? You don't even see him on in top 20 list, top 25 list. The disrespect might be insane, but that division just doesn't hold any value as of right now. And if it doesn't hold value as of right now, imagine what it hold back. Maybe back then it was I don't know, maybe the OGs hold a lot of value on it. Don't get me wrong, Demetrius Johnson is a great fighter. He's a really, really great fighter, and that's why he's in my top 15 list. But a lot of people disrespect, his division and Demetrius Johnson. So he's at least in the top 15, okay? Calm the hell down. Keep in mind also that the UFC is 30 years old, okay? This list and a lot of people's lists changed a lot because this sport is early. That's a lot of people don't realize that. This sport is very, very in its early stages, okay? Moving on. Where the hell am I going? Moving on to Kamaru Usman at 10. And if you guys saw my list on the greatest welterweight, I put Kamaru Usman over GSP, okay? And a lot of people got mad at me over it. And I can say, right? I can say it. GSP is greater than Kamaru Usman. But I specifically said when I was making that list that this is my list. I didn't say the people's list or the word of the people's list. I could have put GSP. And keeping a lot of my picks on each division is usually not the people's pick, but I usually agree with the people's list too. Like mine's very, very close. And a lot of people, the only thing that people got mad at was the GSP pick. And look, I can say it. GSP is, I guess, greater than Kamaru Usman. Okay, I can say it. And on this list, like I said, I'm being 100% unbiased. I'm just putting on what I think they deserve. Okay, and I think Kamaru Usman is top 10. Okay, he's top 10. He has 5 title defenses. He beat Tyron Woodley, insanely good win. Colby Covington twice, insanely good wins. Even though Colby Covington wins are not aging that well, but at the time they were great fights. Absolutely, he was, and a lot of people are also talking about like he was ducking all this stuff. But I swear to God, like, okay, man, if you were watching Kamaru Usman's career at the time, he literally didn't have nobody to fight with, other than the people he literally fought. He fought the people that deserved to fight him. Like, he didn't duck anyone. I don't know what this thing people are saying right now that he was ducking all this stuff. He wasn't ducking anyone, man. He literally wasn't ducking anyone. He beat George Masvidal twice. He knocked him out the second time. Gilbert Burns, he literally beat him up with a jab. Rafael Dos Santos, Sean Strickland, Leon Edwards. The Sean Strickland, Leon Edwards fights were when they were in their early career, but it's still gonna age absolutely well in the future. I mean, in the future, but as of right now, it's age dwelled, okay? Because these two are former champions, so his resume is not that bad. He lost to Leon Edwards via head kick KO. That shocked me. When I was watching that fight, man, that was insane, dude. That really shocked me to my core. I wasn't sad or anything, but I was in shock when because it was such a dominant fight until the last round, bro. Like I couldn't believe he got KO'd by Leon Edwards, but he got defeated again via majority decision against Leon Edwards. But yeah, he's the former UFC welterweight champion, tied for the second longest winning streak in UFC history with 15 consecutive wins. And he's known for dominant wrestling and striking. Wow. Moving on to Boatan. He has 3 title defenses. He beat Israel Adesanya, Yuri Prochazka twice, Jamal Hill, Khalil Rountree Jr., Jan Blachowicz. He lost to Israel Adesanya via KO. Then he moved up. He's the current light heavyweight champion, and he's the former middleweight champion. I will say that he might be moving up soon if he defeats the Ank, the person that people are saying is supposed to be his kryptonite. Ank is basically the Umar of Merab, you know what I mean? If he defeats him, he moves up maybe 1 or 2 columns. Who knows? Okay, I might have to reevaluate at the end of the year, but that Ank win will be absolutely massive for his resume. So yeah, I don't really got much to say about Boatan. This is people's fans' favorite, so they follow his career very, very closely. So a lot of people know his career because he's the biggest superstar in the UFC. So I'm not really gonna get into Pereira's resume. Moving on to Ilia Topuria, and this is where it gets tricky, okay? Because Ilia Topuria is undefeated, but this man got the 2 biggest back-to-back wins you could have gotten in UFC history. This man defeated Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway back-to-back, and he KO'd them twice. And he chinned Max Holloway, a guy that has never in his life been beaten up and hit like that in his life. And he put him down. And he literally put him down. He beat Josh Emmett, Bryce Mitchell, Jair Herbert. And as of right now, he's undefeated. Literally undefeated. In fact, he's so good that he's in talks, or he's rumored to be fighting Islam Makhachev next after defeating Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway. But he only has 2 options as of right now. He's either fighting Volkanovski or Islam Makhachev next. And me, myself included, don't want to see the Volkanovski fight next because we basically already know the outcome. Even though it would be good for his resume, don't get me wrong, we don't want to see that because we already know definitively that he will knock him out again. And I'm a Volks fan, and I don't want to see that. That would just be absolutely sad to see. He still got some work to do on his division. And yeah, it's weird because in the top 8, I feel like he deserves the top 8 already because of the people that he has on his resume. And he's already a superstar, man. He's already a superstar. Even though he has 1 defense, we know who he is, okay? And with those 2 names back to back, keep in mind, back to back, the way he defeated them definitely solidifies himself as top 8 already. Already. Those 2 names alone is insane, dude. And look, he's either, I hope he fights, I don't know. Look, we know he's gonna fight Volkanovski. Volkanovski wants that fight. The UFC is gonna make it happen. I think he's gonna fight Volk again because Islam Makhachev, as of recently, he's been hinting on moving up. He doesn't really want to fight smaller guys, so I guess Ilia Topuria is gonna be fighting Volkanovski next, and I might as well put he beat him twice already at this point, even though that's a little effed up because this is Volkanovski we're talking about. I just don't believe Volkanovski can beat him. I just cannot see it in my mind, dude. Give him a 0%. No, that's fucked. I can't say that, but yeah. Ilia Topuria on 8. Moving on to 7. Volkanovski himself. Title defense is 4. He beat Max Holloway 3 times. Brian Ortega, Chang Jung, Jose Aldo, Chad Mendes. He lost to Islam Makhachev, and he got defeated by Ilia Topuria via TKO. He's the former featherweight champion, and his record is 26-4 as of right now, February 2025. He got beat by Islam Makhachev the first time. It was a close fight, and then he got KO'd the second time via head kick because he wanted to take that fight in short notice. This man thought, I mean, he was up there, man. His aura at the time, he was up there. He just believed that he could do it even with no training camp, and he paid the price for it. He really paid the price for it, even though he got a win after the loss. Then he fought Ilia Topuria and got decimated, evaporated, viscerated by that hook. And now we're here, man. And like I said when I was talking about Ilia, this might be the next fight. But I feel like Ilia Topuria needs one more win. It doesn't have to be against Volkanovski to surpass him. Just one more win. And if it is against Volkanovski, I feel like he will surpass him in my list. And if it isn't, he will still surpass him. So no matter what, he will surpass him. But imagine what it will do if Volkanovski manages to win one against Ilia Topuria. I said it on my previous video. When UFC 314 got leaked that it was supposed to be Ilia Topuria versus Volkanovski, I said, look, man, if Volkanovski can win one against Ilia Topuria and just not give him the rematch, I wouldn't be mad, bro. I literally wouldn't be mad. That would do wonders for Volkanovski's freaking resume. I'm over here talking about hypotheticals and shit. Moving on. Wait. Oh my god, I just leaked my others list. Oh, it's all good. Look. Number 6, Merab Dvalishvili. Merab Dvalishvili. Merab Dvalishvili. You know, this is weird because a lot of casuals might come in here and be like, this man has one title defense and he's almost top 5 all time in the UFC. And they just don't understand this man's resume, bro. Jose Aldo, Peter Yan, Henry Cejudo, Sean O'Malley, Umar Nurmagomedov. It is absolutely insane. This man only has one title defense. The UFC did this man a disservice for not giving him a title more recent. This is just sad, man. This is just sad. He has 2 UFC losses early in his career. He's the current UFC bantamweight champion, holds the record for the most takedowns landed in UFC history. He recently just broke that. He broke GSP's record. And on top of all that, he beat Umar Nurmagomedov, bro. Like I said, I said that about Alex Pereira. Umar was supposed to be the guy to defeat Merab Dvalishvili, and he didn't. And now everyone, when he beat Umar Nurmagomedov, everyone was like, who will beat Merab Dvalishvili? Who? Because everyone was so certain Umar Nurmagomedov was going to beat Merab Dvalishvili. Merab Dvalishvili. And everyone was like, wait, what's next now? Literally everyone. Everyone now is just saying he has to do a couple rematches. A lot of people are saying immediate rematch against Umar because it was a close fight. It was competitive, but he still got defeated and he got fast-tracked to the belt. And he got defeated, which the UFC was probably banking on Umar Nurmagomedov to win, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Umar Nurmagomedov only win was Corey Sandhagen, and he got fast-tracked to the belt because, you know, Dana White just loved the Dagestanis holding the belts, you know, and Merab just disrupted those plans, man. He disrupted those plans, and now he probably is gonna who's gonna fight Peter Yan, Sean O'Malley. Because even though Dana White will love a Dagestani holding the belt, he also loves Sean O'Malley, that fake ass superstar for some reason. He pushes Sean O'Malley like he's such a freaking star, which is absolutely not true. Okay. Anyways, let's move on to top 5. Daniel Cormier. Damn. The man that can't stop eating. Man. He has 4 title defenses. He beat Stipe Miocic, Anthony Johnson, Alexander Gustafsson, Dan Henderson, Derek Lewis. He lost to Jon Jones via unanimous decision, defeated by Stipe via TKO, and defeated again by Miocic via unanimous decision. He is a 2-division UFC champion, light heavyweight and heavyweight, and he's the first fighter to defend titles in 2 weight classes. The first one, which is absolutely phenomenal, insane. He fought basically the best of the best. He basically fought the golden age of the light heavyweight fighters. And he defeated Stipe Miocic when he wasn't a part-time firefighter. So that's a good thing, Jon Jones. He did defeat him by KO, but then he lost to KO or TKO, and then he lost the trilogy. But he still is one of the best fighters of all time. Top 5 in my opinion. This man is one of the most fun fighters that I've ever watched. His wins are absolutely phenomenal. And just the fact that he was a 2-division UFC champion just puts him over the edge of being a top 5 fighter of all time. Moving on to Khabib Nurmagomedov. Khabib Nurmagomedov. Khabib Nurmagomedov. I mean, there's not really much to say. There's not really much like things to say about Khabib, because this man, like, how many? I'm pretty sure there's like a stat or somewhere around there, like he lost like 1 round or some shit like that. So yeah, this man has 3 title defenses. He has notable wins against Connor, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Michael Johnson, Rafael dos Santos. I mean, the man like literally lost 1 round. Okay, maybe 2, maybe 3, but he there's a stat out there. I'm pretty sure that he only lost 1 round. He basically dominated every fight that he fought. Khabib retired undefeated basically in the UFC, which is absolutely insane. And yeah, man, I mean, what else can you say? I guess I was sad that he retired early. I mean, we all know why he retired. His father passed away, so he made like a promise to his mom or his dad, one of them two, that if when they died, he wasn't going to fight anymore. And he basically, you know, he did that. he didn't fight. He's not going to fight. He didn't fight ever again after he passed away. So his career could have been so much more. Everyone knows that. But we will never know. And as time goes by, he will, you know, he won't be top 5, top 4, top 6 anymore. It will gradually go down because how early he retired in his career, okay? Moving on to number 3, Islam Makhachev. This might be the closest complete fighter ever, okay? This number 3 and number 2 on my list are basically so close to each other because these two are basically complete fighters. And I don't know who, and look, these number 3 and number 2 are basically interchangeable. I'm not even kidding, in my opinion. Because they're so close to each other, to the perfect fighter. Obviously, there's no perfect fighter, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I just had to put Islam Makhachev at number 3 as of right now. He's 4 title defenses. He has beaten Charles Oliveira, Alexander Volkanovski twice, Dustin Poirier, Armin Tsarukyan when they were young, Renato Moicano, in the UFC, by the way, the Armin Tsarukyan one. And they were supposed to fight again, but, you know, he pulled out 24 hours and fought Renato Moicano. He only lost to Adrian Martins via KO back in 2015. He did a major mistake and he got absolutely slept. Um, he holds the record for the most consecutive UFC lightweight title defenses and tied for the second longest winning streak in UFC history at 15, which is absolutely insane. Um, but yeah, Islam Makhachev is the most complete fighter I've ever seen, in my opinion, as of right now. And the only reason I'm saying that so confidently is because I do need to go watch the more GSP. I just leaked the number 2, but GSP's number 2, and I just need to go watch GSP. Okay, I need to see. Okay, I need to see with my own eyes. I need to like analyze and compare the two because these two are so close, man. That it's basically interchangeable, like I said. But let's just move on to GSP. Look, the man has 9. Okay, he has 9 title defenses. He beat Matt Hughes, BJ Penn, Carlos Condit, Nick Diaz, Johnny Hendricks, Michael Bisping. He lost to Matt Hughes and Matt Serra. He basically he got his get back. Basically all the losses that he got his get back. Okay, he got all this. He won those losses against the opponents. He was a 2 division champion. He beat in welterweight and middleweight. In middleweight he defeated Michael Bisping, which was it was like a very strategic way. Okay, it was like a very strategic way. I didn't really like the way he did it, but he did it. Okay, he still did it. It was very high Q of him. Shout out to him for becoming a 2 division champion that way. But hey, it's still on his resume. Okay. But yeah, this man's another again, I'm sorry for glazing, but these two are just very, very complete fighters. They're just complete freaking fighters, and you can't even deny that. They're just too complete to even argue. Like, it's crazy because, man, they're just so close to each other. I'm just gonna leave it 2 and 3. I was thinking of changing it, but I'm just gonna leave it 2 and 3. 9 title defenses. It's just a lot. Especially his record of the most takedowns got broken by Merab recently, but he's still second. Like, this man fights so well. His IQ is through the roof. Like, you can't argue with GSP at 2 or 1 if I'm being completely honest. Like, GSP is just a complete fighter, dude. This is the fighter that you want to be if you're like creating your character and shit. No glaze, okay? I'm just being truthful. Moving on to Jon Jones. Oh my lord. Okay, look. Even though this guy is a drug cheat, okay? We know this. Okay, we know this. We know this. This guy has 11 title defenses. He has wins over Anthony Smith. On paper, he should have won against Jon Jones, okay? He has wins over Shogun, which is Rua, Lyoto Machida, Cormier, Alexander Gustafsson, Cyril Gahn, Stipe Miocic when he was in a wheelchair, Glover Teixeira, Rashad Evans, Quinton Jackson. Jon Jones officially has 1 loss on his record because he was disqualified against Mats Hamill due to illegal elbow, but basically he has never been defeated in a competition. Regis. But he's the youngest UFC champion, and he's a 2 division champion, light heavyweight and heavyweight. His light heavyweight run is a little sus. I mean, he defeated Cyril Gahn and Stipe Miocic, and we already know that Cyril Gahn is absolute garbage. The UFC, the way they sold that fight, like Cyril Gahn was like this new, I mean, he was supposed to be the new generation of heavyweights and shit. This guy's complete ass on the ground, okay? Complete ass. But at the end of the day, this man's wins cannot be denied. I mean, 11 title defenses. I mean, look at the names on paper. On paper. I mean, they are very, very good wins. He's basically a complete fighter too. I mean, I literally can't even argue against this. Like, the fighters that he fought, the people that he defeated, the way he defeated it. beat them. It's just unarguable. He deserves number one as of right now. But don't worry, guys. A lot of you Jon Jones fans, haters, don't worry. The UFC's been out only for 30 years, okay? We have time for a new go coming soon. Like, look, at least we have Islam Makhachev to overtake him maybe in a year or two when he gets a few more defenses to become the GOAT. We don't have to hear Jon Jones be called the GOAT. Maybe, I mean, we probably will be hearing Jon Jones be called the GOAT by the commentators like Joe Rogan and shit, that they don't move on from people like the OG ways. But for the people, the content that you see online, you're gonna see probably a lot of Islam Makhachev being the GOAT and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna end it there. I'm gonna end it there. That's gonna be my top 15 UFC fighters of all time. Let me know, please, in the comment section what you think out of my list. Let me know who I left, who you think you should deserve to be in the top 15. Let me know if the placements were wrong. Let me just know what you think in the comment section. With that being said, make sure you leave a like, hit that sub button because it really does help for the algorithm. My channel has been getting like shadow banned or something. Like I've been getting 0 views every single day for some reason. It's very, not 0 views, but like a view per day or something. Like something's weird. After the Super Bowl, my thing got messed up. But anyways, sure to leave a like, hit that sub button so you don't miss any more MMA content. And with that being said, I'll see everyone very, very soon. Goodbye.